Okay, so now we proceed to the transportation of carbon dioxide. So actually how carbon dioxide is transported from the cell to lung. So actually when the cell is undergo cellular respiration, so it will produce carbon dioxide. So how this carbon dioxide will be transported from the cell, okay, so that cell actually we call as respiring cell, okay, to the lung. So there are three ways to transport the carbon dioxide. The first one, 7% of carbon dioxide will be dissolved in blood plasma, and then 23% of the carbon dioxide will bind to amino group of hemoglobin. So remember, carbon dioxide bind to amino group of hemoglobin to form carbaminohemoglobin. Okay, and then the rest 70% are transported as bicarbonate ion. Okay, so if you look at the three ways how carbon dioxide is transported from the cell to the lung, mostly carbon dioxide is transported as bicarbonate ion. So how the process is occur? Okay, so let's say this is the diagram of this is the tissue cell. Okay, so means that when this tissue cell undergo respiration, so it will produce carbon dioxide. So firstly, carbon dioxide from body tissue will diffuse into the interstitial fluid. So this is what we call as interstitial fluid. And then from interstitial fluid, over 90% of carbon dioxide diffuse into red blood cell. So means that 90% of carbon dioxide will diffuse into the red blood cell. So this is the red blood cell. Okay, and then the remaining 7%, so actually there are 7% of carbon dioxide, okay, diffuse into plasma as dissolved carbon dioxide. So dekat sini sebenarnya akan ada 7% of carbon dioxide will dissolve in plasma. Okay, and then what happened to the carbon dioxide inside of the red blood cell? 23% of carbon dioxide will bind to amino group of hemoglobin and transport as carbaminohemoglobin. So this carbon dioxide will bind to hemoglobin. So hemoglobin can be found in the red blood cell. So once carbon dioxide bind to the amino group, okay, of hemoglobin, so it will form carbaminohemoglobin. Okay, and then carbon dioxide also will react with water and it will form carbonic acid, H2CO3. And then what happened to this carbonic acid? It will be dissociate into bicarbonate ion and also hydrogen ion. So that's why another one transportation of carbon dioxide, it will be transported as bicarbonate ion. Okay, and then what happened to this hydrogen ion? This hydrogen ion will bind with hemoglobin. Okay, why hydrogen ion must bind with hemoglobin? To form hemoglobinic acid, because it will prevent hydrogen ion from acidifying the blood or prevent Bow shift. Okay, later I will explain what is Bow shift. So means that if there is a high concentration of hydrogen ion ni dia akan menyebabkan blood to become acidic. So what happen to prevent the blood from becoming acidic? So this hydrogen ion will combine with hemoglobin and it will form hemoglobinic acid. Okay, and then what happen to this bicarbonate ion? Bicarbonate ion will diffuse into plasma. Okay, and carried in the bloodstream to the lung. So this bicarbonate ion will diffuse out from the red blood cell into the blood plasma and it will carried in the bloodstream to the lungs. Okay, and also once bicarbonate ion is already diffused out from the red blood cell, so chloride ion will diffuse into the red blood cell. So this process we call as chloride shift. So why chloride ion must diffuse into the red blood cell when bicarbonate ion diffuse out from the red blood cell? To maintain electrochemical neutrality. Okay, so if you look at the sentence, chloride ion diffuse into the red blood cell to maintain electrochemical neutrality from the diffusion of bicarbonate ion out of red blood cell into the bloodstream. So this process we call as chloride shift. Okay, so this is how carbon dioxide from tissue, okay, is transported to the lung. So means that there are three ways. The first one, carbon dioxide will dissolve in plasma, and also carbon dioxide will enter the red blood cell. So some of the carbon dioxide will combine with amino group of hemoglobin to form carbaminohemoglobin, and carbon dioxide will react with water to produce carbonic acid. So what happened to this carbonic acid? It will be dissociate into bicarbonate ion and also hydrogen ion. So this bicarbonate ion will diffuse out from the red blood cell to be transported to the lung. And then what happened to this hydrogen ion? Hydrogen ion will combine with the hemoglobin to form hemoglobinic acid. So what is the importance of this process? Because it will prevent hydrogen ion from acidifying the blood or to prevent Bohr shift. Okay. Next, we look at what happened to the bicarbonate ion in the lungs. Okay, so let's say this is in the lung. Okay, so this is the red blood cell. So what happened in the lung? Bicarbonate ion diffuse back from plasma into the red blood cell. So actually it will occur the reversal reaction. Okay, so what happened to this bicarbonate ion? Once it will diffuse into the red blood cell, so chloride ion will be diffused out. So proses yang sama macam tadi. And then what happened to this bicarbonate ion? It will combine with hydrogen ion to form carbonic acid. Okay, so where does hydrogen ion comes from? It will be released from the hemoglobin. Okay, sebab tadi hydrogen ion combine with hemoglobin to form hemoglobinic acid. So this hemoglobinic acid will release hydrogen ion. So that hydrogen ion will combine with bicarbonate ion and it will form carbonic acid. So next, carbonic acid is converted back to carbon dioxide and by releasing of water molecule. And then carbon dioxide also will be unloaded from hemoglobin. Sebab tadi carbon dioxide also combine to the amino group of hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, so the carbaminohemoglobin will be release the carbon dioxide. Okay, and then what happened to this carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide diffuse into plasma and then to the interstitial fluid and into the alveolar space in lung. Okay, and then what happened to carbon dioxide? It will be expelled by the process of exhalation. So actually, if you look at what happened in the lung, it is the reversal reaction. So if you look at the sentence, the reduction of carbon dioxide concentration in the plasma drive breakdown of carbonic acid into carbon dioxide and water. So since carbon dioxide concentration in the plasma is decreased, so what will happen? It will induce carbonic acid, okay, here to be dissociate into carbon dioxide and also water molecule. Okay, and then this process actually it is a reversal reaction that occurs in the tissue. Okay, so for transportation of carbon dioxide, you have to take note how carbon dioxide will be transported to the lung and you have to remember the process involved. Okay, and then for the short form here, make sure awak tulis penuh lah. HCO3 minus, so means that this is bicarbonate ion. H plus represent hydrogen ion. Okay, HB you have to write hemoglobin. Alright, so that's all for transportation of carbon dioxide.